Hi, everybody. Welcome to tonight's Sidelines Unite team call. I'm Tammy.
Okay?
Yeah, I can hear you okay, Debbie. Can you hear me? Welcome to tonight's Sidelines Unite team call. It's August 20, and we're just so excited that you're here. And we have a guest speaker, Debbie Thompson from South Carolina with us tonight. And she is going to tell a little bit about her Arbonne story. She has been in Arbonne for 13 years, and it's unbelievable. She has a 19-year-old, almost 19-year-old, going to college, which, wow, thank goodness for Arbonne, because you look fantastic, Debbie. I would have never guessed that. And she has a 16 and a 13-year-old as well. So we're just so excited you're here and can't wait to hear your Arbonne story and different obstacles you've had along the way. And take it away, Debbie. Can you hear okay? Are you there, Debbie?
I can hear you fine. Can everyone hear me okay? Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. I have some background noise, but I'm hoping you can't hear it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So, hi, everyone. It's so good to be here and see. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay. Yes? You can hear me. Okay. All right. So, it's so good to be here with you all tonight. And we just came back from Impact here in our area. We were at the Impact training in Knoxville. So, I know our whole team is totally fired up. And if you can get an Impact, you got to go, because it just fuels you so much. And but I'm thankful. Thank you, Tammy, for inviting me tonight, because I feel privileged to talk to all of you, because you guys are all rock stars, and I'm just pedaling away, doing the best I can. And yeah, I've been doing this for 13 years, and it feels like a blink. And I was introduced to Arbonne by one of my very good friends, Debbie Murphy, who is currently an area manager in Arbonne. She actually is back, which is so exciting to me. She lives like across the street. And but she invited me to a margarita and makeup party. I'll never forget it. It was in 2004, and I don't go to parties. Like, I'm one of those that I don't go. I try to avoid it. But at the time, I had a 4-year-old, a 2-year-old, and a 6-month-old, all girls. And my husband traveled extensively. So I was like, get me out of the house, basically. So I went to her party, and I was the girl that I'm sure you've all experienced and did not appreciate, because I didn't participate. I barely even paid attention, did not buy anything. And this was like one of my really good friends. And scooted out of there really quick, because I got the phone call from the babysitter that something was up, and I ran out the door. And I remember the next day, Debbie calling me and saying, oh, what did you want anything? And do you want to join my business? And I just thought that was really funny, because it was so far from anything I ever thought I would do. Truly. My background is in corporate, and I worked for Tommy Hilfiger in the fashion industry for, 8 years. And for the first year of my oldest daughter's life, I had her in daycare while I traveled all over the country Tuesday through Friday. I loved my job. I loved what I did, but it truly challenged me from a mother perspective, and decided to quit, stay home. So I had just recently kind of made that decision. What? Sorry. I made that decision to stay home, but I think for a long time you sit and think, okay, and so this is it. If you've been in corporate for a long time or working a job, and then you decide to stay home with your kids, there's definitely a feeling of some kind of loss. And so I didn't realize that Arbonne was the answer at the time, just so you know. Oh my gosh, Carrie, how adorable. It's just precious. And so know that there's people out there that don't even realize that Arbonne's the answer. And they may be the person that walks out the door and doesn't buy anything at your event. But because she followed up with me and she kept asking me to join her, and I kept saying no like 4 or 5 times, the best thing that she did was she kept going. And I will tell you, I look back and I think if Debbie quit just because I wouldn't join her, I would never be where I am today. So I loved the fact that she kept going, and she became a district manager. She had success, and I was watching her. And 4 months after she joined her business, I called her and I said, you know, I might do this just to kind of pay off some bills. Is that okay? And great. And I said, but just tell me what to do, because I'm not going to reinvent the wheel. So she told me to do 6 to 8 presentations, group presentations a month. And so I started on September 1st. And the whole month of September, I did 0 because I felt like I had to educate myself first. Don't do that, right? You jump in and just go. But I did. I spent the whole month educating. And then October and November, I did get busy, and I did 6 to 8 group presentations. Both those months, I promoted to district manager, and I did not have one person on my team, like 0, and not even an interest in anyone. And no family was buying from me. It was like all just pretty much strangers. And then December hit, and I decided I was tired and I didn't want to do anything, so I didn't do anything. And then January kind of stunk because I had nothing scheduled from December. But the good news is I kind of scrambled to book things in January. And then February through March, I hit area, and my 2 first business partners came on board. And then I went to GTC. Actually, it was called NTC back then, National Training Conference. 4,000 people there. That was it. And it fueled my fire. I got to see the bigger picture. I got to see Rita Davenport, our former president. And I just, you know, if you haven't been to GTC, you got to go, because it makes a huge difference, an impact on your life. You've got to see what you're a bigger part of. Because, you know, I know I'm in Simpsonville, South Carolina. I know you probably think, oh my gosh, where the heck is that? And, but when you're in your own little world, in your own little town, you kind of feel alone, you know, even if you do have a few business partners next to you, you've got to see this bigger picture of Arbonne. It fueled me, and I became very passionate, and truly from right after GTC in April all the way to August, I did 6 to 8 group presentations religiously, and I promoted to regional vice president. So it was like an 11-month journey to RVP, and I had great business partners, and we were having team meetings at the Mercedes-Benz dealership with 100 people. It was insane momentum. And they say, you know, they were talking at an impact training this past weekend in Knoxville about momentum and how it's a leader's best friend, because it really just catapults everybody into such excitement and energy. So if you have momentum in your business right now, don't let it stop, right? Just keep going, even though you're going to be tired and maybe a little unbalanced, which is okay. If you don't have momentum in your business, it's okay. You can create momentum from 0, because you will have to at some point create momentum from 0. I think everyone probably experiences that at some time. And I share that because that's exactly what happened to me. Between September and January in that first year, I promoted 2 regional vice presidents on my team, and I thought, oh my gosh, this is awesome. This is crazy how this is working. And of course, MVP is right around the corner. It's coming, like in a few months. And what you never really realize, at the time I didn't know, people have their own agendas and time frames, right? And I think I started to really depend on the momentum and the team to just keep going the way they were going. But obviously some people had other plans. God had other plans for sure. And my 2 regional vice presidents quit. And one of them launched her own business and started manufacturing a product. You probably kind of went along with Dave Ramsey and like the wallet system. And she's very successful. It's really cool that she took a lot of the principles she learned in Arbonne and she applied them there. And I'm super happy for her. And that was just her thing. My other regional vice president started her own business as well, a different business, not network marketing. And I thought I was I was not happy. Now the crazy thing is, in our little town here, Simpsonville, Greenville, there were about 12 VPs here, all different sidelines, and we would get together and do these meetings, kind of like you guys do in the Michigan area. And all of a sudden, I think momentum started dropping for them. And guess what? Everyone quit. Everyone but me. I was the last VP standing in Greenville. And it's funny because it impacts someone. Carlita Nelson was up there, Executive National Vice President. If you've never heard her, she's awesome. And she was on stage and she was explaining some of the things that happened in her business like that. And she's like, how many of you would have stayed if everything started falling apart around you? And if I'd be lying to you if I didn't think, oh, way more than once, maybe more than 10 times, I am out of here. This doesn't work. It's a scam. I don't believe in it anymore. It was incredibly difficult. And I definitely stagnated in my business for a while. Now, I will say that never lost my region, which was a blessing from brick building. So I have to tell you, one of the things I will never, ever do, it's like my non-negotiable, is that $2,500 brick for your clients. It's the foundation of your entire business. And if you're not familiar with what that is, it's just doing that PQV every month, that $2,500 new and you. And yes, sponsoring is vital to your business growth. So, we always say sponsor a business builder within that. And I know a lot of our incentives are based around that. But for me, it's just $2,500 new and you. And we on our team really reward that every single month, the brick building. Because if it wasn't for the building bricks, the building blocks of my clients, the reordering, and those consultants who maybe stopped building their business but were in love with Arbonne products that we're still ordering, I would never have maintained region volume, or at least, to never actually lose my region. So it truly, to me, in hindsight, I think, holy cow, it was really, really important to build that like that. Maybe I didn't realize it then. So it is vital to your business to build it brick by brick, client by client, and at the same time, sponsoring consultants, of course. But that foundation can really help you out in times when things may change and stir up the pot a little bit for you. I guess people say prepare for impact, and that really helps you with that. And it did for me. But I did make a decision to not quit because I loved this company. I loved everything, the philosophy behind it. I loved the products. I loved the people that stayed. And I'll tell you, there are some very amazing leaders on my team that stayed the course, even when I kind of I know I checked out because I was freaking out. I saw it all falling around me. But there are some leaders that stayed with me and locked arms with me, and we kept going. So I just that's like encouragement for you guys, because I was in a room of about 500 people yesterday. We took a charter bus up as a team, had a great time, but really strong message on not quitting, because, and I love the vulnerability of people sharing their highs and their lows, and there's things that you're going to go through that you're not going to expect. Now, does everyone lose people? Yeah, at some time. Does everyone lose VPs? Not really. Sometimes it happens. So don't be afraid. Don't fear that, oh my gosh, I built all this that's going to fall apart. No, I'm just letting you know that things can happen. And if you build your business correctly, you can sustain an incredible override check while you can rebuild yourself. Or if something happens at home that you need to tend to, that's the beauty of this business. And so happy to say now there are even more leaders on our team that honestly, they teach me things every day. We have, Jessica Pilgrim, who's a regional vice president. And I'll tell you, Jessica, she came like deep in what she actually came from, the leg that quit. My regional vice president that decided to quit Arbonne and build a business with the wallets, she was about 4 down from her. So it's kind of like she rose and kept going. And I didn't know Jessica before Arbonne. So how incredible is that? And then Heather Justice, another regional vice president on our team that, she's a rock star. And I truly thank God that she came into my life and built her business the way she has. And we have so many more. So we're growing. We're getting super close to Nation Qual, and I'm so excited. Mostly because of where we've been and where, it's kind of like it's such an evolution in all of our personal growth, especially mine. So that's kind of a long story, I think, about my journey so far in Arbonne. And I didn't know, is there anything else that you kind of were curious about? I know I mentioned the 2,500 brick to me is non-negotiable. attending, plugging into things like this call, going to GTC, going to Impact, going to any meetings possible, like your monthly meetings. Okay, so I've been doing this for 13 years. I think I've missed maybe on both hands, maybe 10 meetings just because of family obligations or I was traveling. And there's so many times you may feel like you don't want to go to a meeting because maybe you're on fire. Maybe you've got your 8 presentations booked and you're like, I don't need the meeting because I'm good. I mean, I'm rocking. But that's exactly when the meeting needs you. I promise. We need your energy. We need your insight. We need your what you're doing. We need to learn from you. And then on the flip side, if you're feeling kind of down and you had all your like 10 no's that week and you're just like, I don't feel like going to that meeting. I had a long day at work. That's when you really do need to go to the meeting, because when we can connect together and we can lift each other, and then you start hearing about these other folks that have had some trials, but then they got through it, it gives you hope. And you need to know that you're not alone. Everyone goes through all of it. And if you're struggling, really reach out to your upline. I promise you they've been there, done that. So I know sometimes people will tell me, I don't want to bother you. I know you're busy. And then I feel like they're in the witness protection program. I haven't heard from them in so long, and I can't reach them. And I thought, what happened? And it's all because they just thought that they were bothering me, when all I want to do is hear from them, because I know I've been where they have been. And I can share with them my experience so that they can see bigger and past the wall, and maybe a way to climb over it or go around it. And that's what we want to do for everybody. So I know your leaders want to do that for you. So definitely bug them. Like, you cannot bug us enough. Truly. Like, never. And I know I'm probably speaking for you, Tammy, and I see Karen and Carrie. We love to talk to you guys and bug us, Is there anything else? I don't know. What else do you guys?
I love this. I took a lot of notes already, and that is exactly what you said is so key. That is the core of every successful person, Arbonne or no Arbonne, just successful person in general, is they had this unwavering resolve, this unwavering commitment. Like, I will be the last one standing, and it just doesn't, I'm here, I'm doing this. And so if anyone listening hasn't had that commitment deep in their heart yet, you're missing the big stuff. That's the big thing that's gonna propel you and keep you going in the tough times when other people aren't there. I remember Cecilia Stoll saying, when I was pretty new, and it kind of like ruffled my feathers, but I remember her saying, enjoy your momentum because it won't last. And I thought that's kind of rude of her to say that. But you know what? I thought of it so many times, and I'm grateful to know that momentum comes and goes. But you know what? Consistency will help us prepare for impact.
Yes.
Staying consistent. Just like you said, that 2,500 new and you, that is so crucial to just keep bringing in new life into your business. And when you have new things going and new people joining, that also excites the team, and gives them a picture of, what's possible for them. So that's just so key. I love how you said, we need to earn as we learn instead of waiting until we know everything. That's so true.
Oh my gosh. I wasted so much time trying to learn everything. And it was like product detail. Oh my goodness. I thought I had to know everything. And you guys know we don't need to know everything.
And I love how you said, just keep going and be unbalanced, don't let off the gas, because honestly, in my mind, the only time I'm going to be able to let off the gas and stop being so consistent is when I'm at least a 4-wide MVP and you've, kind of maxed out the comp plan. 6-wide would be even better. But at that point, I'm just going to want everyone to be with me. So it's like, no, let's keep going. Let's have a party at the top. Come on, everybody. So
yeah, they talked a lot about that at Impact too, as far as, keeping that consistent momentum. And everyone talks about balance now. It's almost like a hyped word, yoga I'm very into yoga. Like, I love my yoga. But balance is so big, and it's kind of like a trendy word. Well, Carlita was saying, listen, there's different kinds of balance. And, you know, you could be a full-time working person and do your Arbonne business and have kids at home and, you know, have all this going on, and people may look at you and go, oh my gosh, that's just unbalanced. She's crazy. But that's balance to you. And that's okay. They call it chaotic balance, right? Some people, certain personalities, and believe it or not, it's usually people that do Arbonne, because we attract people in this business that are leaders, that are, like you said, you know, go-getters. They're staying the course. They're committed, especially to their purpose, and they have vision. So they're, you know, these are the type of personalities we tend to attract, and we're high achievers, and we're used to organized chaos, and that's okay. Don't think you have to, like, you know, she was saying, like, you know, okay, so I just did my 3 calls, and then now I'm going to spend 30 minutes doing yoga, and then I'm going to go and have a snack. It doesn't usually fall that way. You know, if you're really into momentum and into your activity, you're going to have some. It's going to be a little chaotic, but it's going to be fun chaos. It's going to be chaos that you're going to sit back and go, I'm overwhelmed, but I feel good about it. Jumping out of bed in the morning and just being excited, that's good chaos and unbalanced chaos. And that's okay. Don't be afraid of that. Like you said, it's actually becomes a lot more fun. And you want to have as much fun in this business as you possibly can, because people are watching you. They don't want to see you crazy and overwhelmed. They want to see you having fun, and they want to see this chaotic balance, which they know they can manage as well, if they're the right person for your team anyway. So lots of words of wisdom from Carlita from that standpoint. And, you know, as far as staying the course and activity. And there's so many people are doing so many different reach out methods, really talking about finding your happy, finding what you know you do really well, and focusing on that. Let's just say 6 to 8 group presentations. You've got to leverage your time. This is the best way to do it. Do them, and then sprinkle in the one-on-ones, sprinkle in the Facebook Live events, because so many people are trying to just do all of it all the time, and they're never finding where they're really good at. So it's like maximizing your strength and then sprinkling in the things that are also great for your other reach out methods, I should say. And what was really funny, and I know Tammy, you would have stood up for this too, I guess, is she asked everybody to stand up who had been in the business before there was social media. And it was like one of those, like, oh, do I have to stand up? This is so embarrassing. But I did. And it was like, and there was only about 20 people that stood up. And they were looking at us like, how did you do the business without social media? And I thought, how interesting, you know, because we didn't have social media. We didn't even have the 30-day program. So sometimes we're thinking, oh, social media is the way to go and build our business, because we see a lot of people out there doing that. And if you're good at social media, hey, and you know how to work it and you know the right way to do it, go for it. I am not good at social media. I'm learning. I'm like an old dog doing new tricks. So I'm really good at group presentations, and I know I should do those. And that's what I'm really good at. And I will learn the other stuff. So focus on your strengths in this business. Focus on what you do really well. And if you don't think you do one thing really well, pick one and do it really, really well. Have excellence in something. They kept talking about be excellent in something. And then, you know, you can add the other stuff in, because that's going to build your confidence, and you're going to really start to get results. And it's going to be this great little cycle of building your confidence, doing something that you're really good at, and then you're going to get results, and it's going to build your confidence, and you're going to keep doing this great little cycle. I know John Maxwell talks about that as well. So, you know, a lot of good talk about that too. So are there any questions? Like, sometimes it's helpful if anyone had a question and I can kind of like share. I hope I didn't talk too fast. I tend to do that.
Love it.
So.
I'll ask a question.
Yeah.
Hey, Debbie. So I love that you talked about some of the dips in our business. And can you pinpoint like a time in your business where you were questioning whether or not you would continue? And then what made you get out of that? Like what boosted your resolve to keep going?
Oh yeah, there was a lot of times I felt.
Well, yes.
There were, but I think the lowest low, you know, when we lost a lot of people in that time period several years ago. And I think for me, I committed to do it in the beginning. And I looked at the people that came on board with me, whether they came on board with me as a client or if they came on board with me as a consultant, they believed what I told them. Right? They believed that I told them this was a great product. They believed that I told them this was a great business opportunity. So what would it say if I walked away from that? And so for me, I think that's really what it boiled down to. I could not walk away from what I told people I was committed to and that I told people this was a great thing. And they joined me. They joined me. Not necessarily Arbonne, they joined me, and that would be completely hypocritical, and I didn't want to let them down. So I think that was one of the biggest things that kept me going were the people, the clients, and my business partners that stayed the course. So, you know, it was kind of looking back at my why, and why did I do this in the first place, and why did I decide to share this with people? Well, because I thought it was a great thing, and not just for me, but for other people. Well, has that changed? No. I still believe that. So then why are you going to walk away now? And that's kind of what I think it always went back to and still does. You know, it's always the people. It's everybody else. It really cannot be about you. It can't, or else you'll walk away. I promise. You'll find a back door. You'll find an excuse because there's so many. I was sharing tonight. I have family here visiting, and I was sharing with them that they have friends in Ohio. And I said, oh my gosh, they're talking about Amish country. And I said, oh my gosh, there's the first regional vice president, Amish regional vice president. She just promoted, and I showed them the white buggy and the carriage. And I said, and she has now officially eliminated every single excuse we could possibly make. I mean, it's almost embarrassing if you think about it. No electricity, no phone. I mean, how do they do it? You know? So I sit back and I'm like, I'm embarrassed now when I have if I whine a little or something, you know, because she did it. I can't not do it. It's ridiculous. So I think that's kind of how it is. Does that make sense?
Yes. Thank you so much. That was powerful.
You're so welcome.
Love it.
Oh.
Any other questions?
Anyone else?
Or comments? This is why we do these calls, because I think everyone relates to the struggles more than, oh, I'm perfect, I went straight to the top, you know? Because that's just not the way it goes. The natural progression is that success always follows struggle. So we have to be that type of person with this resolve that no matter what, I'm going to weather this and get through this and be the last person standing. And really, I always think about, what's hard, really. For me, I worked midnights as a nurse for 12 years. And I'm sorry, but trying to keep yourself awake and being so sleep deprived and always feeling awful, constant headache, just, you know what I mean? Like working weekends, holidays, you're away from your family, you're living like in a different time zone. Like that was hard. Arbonne is not hard. You know what I mean? You're hard. Like I know some days even last weekend, and it was a beautiful day, but I'm committed. I told my husband, I said, I just can't go out on the boat right now. I have to get some things on my calendar. I just have to. I'm feeling all anxious inside because I don't have enough activity this month. And so I did. I stayed in. I, made all those reach outs. And you know what? Because of that, sponsored a new consultant this week, and it was just awesome. But you know what? I got a lot of not fun no's too. A lot of messages back where people were just annoyed with me or whatever. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I misread where they were with Arbonne. I'm not sure. But anyway, it's okay. I was sort of laughing at the messages, reading them to Scott. I'm like, you know what? Something good is about to happen because, man, I'm getting a lot of no's right now. But that's my attitude. I know that success follows struggle. I know that success follows struggle. There's something good about to happen. The obstacles mean you're right on track. And just to have that anticipation that I know, if I just keep going, something good is going to happen. So exactly. No means that you're closer to MVP. Thank you, Kendall. Perfect. Let's just all write that on our bathroom mirror. Every no means we're closer to MVP. This is awesome. So,
and don't you tend to remember, we remember the negative things more than the positive. Like we dwell on them. You remember all the negative. You guys, you've had a lot more positive, or I should say it this way, your positives have way outweighed all those little negatives, right? So if you think about the road and you're asking and asking, you're getting all those icky no's, and then the yes came, you got a consultant, way more valuable than all those little no's, and you probably forgot about them by now. Like you're like, oh, I don't even care about those no's now. I'm focused on that yes that's just ready to go. So we dwell on our no's way too much, or our struggles way too much. And if we can get past that and do that mind shift, our team this month is reading I just forgot the name of the book. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You know what I'm talking about? What's the name of the book?
It's
5. Yes, there it is. 5-second rule.
The best book ever.
It is truly an incredible, and I heard about Take the Stairs. I've heard about that one. But that has been a huge change. And one thing we just took on from Impact, we took this one idea that Ashley Stone, she's a new national vice president that I absolutely am in awe of. And she suggested, because she spoke, this 100-person, well, this 30 and 30. We'll say it's called 30 and 30. And you guys, I'm not sure if you're familiar with it. We weren't necessarily. We heard a buzz about it. But basically, we have just a copy and pasted verbiage that you send it out to 100 people in text message. Just a blanket send out. Go through your phone, send. And it's basically asking for a 20-minute overview, that you're in a challenge that you need 30 people to do a 20-minute overview with this month. And would they be open to being one of the 30? It would mean the world to you. And we were doing it on the bus on the ride home. And I can't tell you, I mean, people were like, one person was like, I just mailed it to 27 people. I just got 8 yeses, like within 10 minutes. And it was like, whoa, wait a minute. And now and so we're all doing this by tomorrow night, just sending out all those texts. And yeah, you're going to get some silly no's like Tammy was just talking about. But the statistical percentages you're going to get, usually people are getting about 30 out of 100. And that's what you talk about restarting your business. And you can create momentum from nothing. And that's really, it's just an idea. And then we're doing that right now for the rest of August and into September. What is the text message? Here, I'll pull it up for you and I'll read it. But I could also send it to y'all. And we kind of just took it from what they said, because why reinvent the wheel, right? Here, let me read it to you. Okay. Hold on. Almost there. Sorry. Okay. Here we go. So you just say, hey, Susan, it's Debbie Thompson. I hope you are doing well. I'm reaching out to you because I'm in a 30-day challenge with my Arbonne team to get in front of 30 people this month for a quick 20-minute overview of Arbonne. It may or may not be a fit for you, and that's totally fine, but it would mean the world to me. So I will bring you a little gift as a thank you. It can be done by Zoom, phone, in person. I know you're busy, so I can come to you if that works. Would you be willing to be one of my 30? That's it. And it seems like a lot. It's a paragraph like that when you're texting it. Now, if you're brand new, there's a little bit of a change. You could say, hey, Susan, it's Debbie Thompson. I hope you're well. I don't know if you know that I started an Arbonne business. And then we put a smiley face. I'm very excited, but also a little nervous. I'm in a 30-day challenge to get in front of 30 people this month for a quick 20-minute overview of Arbonne. It may or may not be a fit for you, and that's totally fine, but it would really mean the world to me. I'll bring you a little thank you gift, as just for listening and helping me practice. So I know you're busy, so can I come to you? Would you be willing to be one of my 30? So it's the same, just tweaked a little bit for being new. And that they're just literally copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste to 100 people. And I know some of you might be sitting there going, I don't know 100 people. I know if you open your address book, you have over 100 people in there, or every single person on here I know has over 100 friends on Facebook. I know you do. So go through that list as a memory jogger. Do Messenger if that's better or easier for you, or text. Do a combination. But reach out to them, even if it's DMing on Instagram or whatever it is. Try it. You have nothing to lose. Nothing to lose. I mean, you're taking the scary out of it by texting. You're not even calling, right? So that's what we're doing, and people are saying yes. And again, now what are you doing in that 20-minute overview? You're telling the story, right? You're telling the Arbonne product story, and you're telling the Arbonne business story concisely. What we use is is Arbonne a fit for you flyer, because that keeps me on point. I don't know if you've ever seen that, but is Arbonne a fit for you? Go through that. It talks about the product, the business, answer their questions. Before you start into that, ask a lot of questions. Have you heard of it? What products are you currently using? Just kind of chat with them and get to know them if you don't know them really well. See if you can connect some dots already or get some clues as to what they may be interested in. Are you engaged into a healthy living lifestyle? Or are you really into makeup? Or you just can kind of find out what they might be interested in and focus on that. But you got 20 minutes because you promised 20 minutes. So stay in 20 minutes. And then even after 20 minutes is over, you may look at your watch and say, hey, I promised 20 minutes. And I know we're having a great chat. Is it okay if we keep going? I don't want to take up more than the time I told you. And most of the time they're going to say, oh, no, keep going. That's good. Because what we know is when they hear it, they typically love something, right? It just tends to be the getting in front of people. Like, I think that's sometimes our biggest hurdle is not finding people to get in front of. We know we love what we have. We know they're going to love when they hear it, what we have. We just need to tell them. We need to get in front of someone to tell. And this is the way you can possibly do that. And that's what we're doing. So.
Love it. So I believe we have that 30 and 30 document with the text verbiage in Thriving Nation's files. I'll double check, but I think we did, because Kendall did a beautiful training on it not too long ago. So thank you so much, Debbie, for reminding us. And I'm so glad they talked about that at Impact, because you are right. You can jumpstart and get into momentum at any minute in your business. Right now, you can send out 10 texts tonight, at least. And I love the questions, just a natural flow is to ask someone what they do. I always ask, where do you live? Or if I don't know someone, and what do you do there? And, they'll tell you. And then I love this question. Listen for it. Do you love what you do?
Love it. I do that all the time.
Or they'll say, oh, I'm a physical therapist or whatever. Do you love it? And they might say, yeah. And I'll say, oh, how long have you worked as a physical therapist? And they'll say 15 years. And I'll say, oh, can you see yourself working there for 20 more years? And they might pause. You know what I mean? Because really, we want to get the feel for, are they happy doing what they're doing? If time or money were not an object, what would you be doing? Where would you be living? You're trying to figure out what lights them up, and then see how Arbonne, can fit into their life. I love how you said what products you're currently using. Are you happy with them? Those are great questions.
And it's funny. I love the way you put that too. And I usually say, well, what do you do? How long you been doing that? And when you hear their number, I'm always like, wow, that's a long time. You must love it. And I don't think I've ever had anyone say, I do. It's usually like, well, it pays the bills. It makes them immediately think, do I love this? I don't know. I'm just doing it. And I've been doing it for 10 years. Why am I doing this for 10 years? That's a great way to do it. Great question.
And that's a great follow-up too. If someone says, I do this job to pay the bills, you could say, oh my goodness. So tell me, what amount at the end of the month would make a difference for your family? you know, and most people, it's just like 1,000 or 2,000 that would make a big difference. And that's
a little bit.
Light up and say, oh my goodness, you know, at area manager level, how much time do you have to put into this?
Yeah. It's on that sheet.
You know, yeah, it is. But those questions help you position Arbonne. And I always say, you've heard me say this before, that if you don't know what to say to someone, it's because you haven't asked enough questions. So, you know, keep kind of digging and just see. And people love, honestly, people love to talk about themselves. So just get them talking about themselves, and they'll have a positive feeling about you and Arbonne the more they talk about themselves. So there's your tip. Oh, I love it. Karen, are you there? Or Carrie, would you, or Colleen even, would you guys have anything to add? Thanks for being here. All right, well, we're going to wrap this call up. Do you have, there's
no.
Well, good. Well, you can just give a glowing review then, since this is your baby.
Oh, I can give glowing reviews for Debbie Thompson. Look how beautiful she is. She's beautiful. She's effervescent. She's got the most beautiful smile in the world. I mean, she's the greatest leader on my team.
Also sweet.
You know, she's awesome. So anyway,
tonight.
You got to train tonight.
Thanks. I have absolutely no makeup on. It's the new RE9.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding.
Oh, yeah.
Holy cow. It is so incredible. Woo.
We do. You guys hold that belief in your head that we have what people are looking for. We truly do. And our job is just to be able to communicate what we have to as many people as we can. So, and Colleen says, so honored and humbled to have her in my success line. Yes. Yes, we're all looking for
Yay.
Well,
I didn't even know that chat was over there. Oh,
thank you again so much for being with us tonight, Debbie. Appreciate you.
Oh, it's my pleasure. You guys are wonderful.
You have filled my heart, because it's true. It's you know, that's the big word. Stay and do more and be consistent, you know? So there we go. That helps. It boils down.
When you're not consistent, just hang in there and feed your clients, and just don't give up. Don't stop.
Stay plugged in. Yeah.
Stay plugged in. Exactly.
Well, love you so much. Thanks for this.
Bye, guys.
Here, 30 and 30 doc is in Thriving Nations files. And if it isn't, we'll get it there, but I believe it is. So thank you so much again, Debbie, for sharing tonight and sharing your heart. We just appreciate you. And you guys, there's still lots of time in August. So if you need to relaunch yourself today, do it.
Yes.
It's worth it. Everything we do adds up, and everything we don't do adds up as well. Even faster. So all right. Love you guys. Have a wonderful day.
Bye, guys.
And thank you again so much, Debbie. Love you.
Bye. Love you guys.
Bye.